So here we are in front of the first mural project that I worked on, and there's all these windows in this building that were bricked up, and I spent $15,000 of my own money to cover the bricked up windows with printed collages of windows with all the different things in them. And they've been here 11 years now. I did that back in 2009, and it happened to be the 100th anniversary of this building. And down the street over here, they're redoing the roof. So they got a big crane lifting materials up onto the roof. The funny thing about this project was I originally wanted to use scaffolding to paint the brick, but when I priced the scaffolding, the original cost before anything else was added was $30,000, because I had to get swing staging, and they would have had to get a crane, not quite that big, but a pretty big crane, and block off the road and get a cop detail to make this project happen. It was a fun project. It was great because the project got easier once I realized I could print it and install it instead of physically paint it. And it was the project that started me off on my muraling. What's funny is people usually stand on the other side of the street and take photos of this building. If you were to Google image search the North End, you get this copper corner building as one of the first things that comes up. No one really even takes much notice of the art I did because it blends in so well. Even faded, it still looks good, which is pretty good, great. The mural I'll show you next up the street that's also very faded, that looks terrible, but this is turning out well. For 11 years in the sun, it looks pretty good. All right, let's move to the next mural. So this is the St. Leonard's Peace Garden, and I printed this wall 9 years ago, 2010. Was it 2010? Yeah. That was 10 years ago then. Okay. So this has been up 10 years. Wow, time flies. And this is a photograph I took at Arnold Arboretum and had printed 20 feet tall. And now vines are actually growing on it, which is really cool. But this was taken with a Canon 5D, and the resolution's pretty good for a 12 megapixel full frame camera. So this is pretty much 2 photographs mirrored on the corner. I can show you what I'm talking about. Well, this tree's kind of in the way, but you can see here, this image is the same as that image, and it just mirrors out all the way up. I can show you photographs of what it used to look like back before it was faded. Check this out. And this is where I learned how Boston Building Wraps attached their printed scrims. You can see that's a masonry drive pin anchor. They put that through the grommets hammer drill into the building and stretch it. And they cut around all the lights. Yeah, this needs to be changed out at some point. It's way more faded than I'd like it to be. But eventually it will come down. I guess, maybe get swapped out for a new one or something different. I can tell you this, the actual wall is not very attractive. I can show you pictures of what it used to look like before I installed this. Check this out. Cool. All right, let's move on to the next. But yeah, I wanted to comment on Hanover Street now that coronavirus has basically affected all the restaurants. The entire length of Hanover Street has seating where cars used to park. And I think it's pretty great. Personally, I think they should actually remove all traffic from Hanover Street. But good luck doing that here in Boston. People still speed down the street. And I think the cars ruin the North End experience. But that's my own personal opinion. If you limit cars in this neighborhood, it would make the neighborhood so much better. But this is supposedly only temporary for this year. We will see what next year has, but let's continue down the street. And this is the spot I took the before and after photos of this tower being built in tour number 3. Yeah. You can see Hanover Street.
I know.
I'm a big fan of no parking on Hanover Street. I think it makes it, if they just turn the street pedestrian, it would make all the difference in the world. Let's go to my favorite pizza place, Ernesto's. But first I want to show you what this used to look like back when the highway used to run above ground. Check this out. Pretty dramatic. All right, a little further down. So this is Salem Street, and you can check out what this used to look like when the highway used to be above ground. Check this out. And you can see over here that West End Tower is just starting to stick up above the buildings. And again, it's going to be about that tall when it's all said and done. And the other glass tower we were at will stick up about that far when it's built. So this whole area is up for a lot of change. There's a high-rise tower over there that I want to focus on in the next tour, and that building is going to change drastically. It's going to be all glass. But let's get some pizza. So this is Ernesto's. It's the best pizza in Boston, in the North End, and Boston. Yeah. Let's get some pizza. This building here was built... Wow, that guy's going fast. This building was built in 2001, I think. 2000, 2001. I have pictures of what it used to look like. Someone set the old building on fire. There used to be a Dunkin' Donuts in this spot, but now it's a grocery store called Going Bananas. Further down the street, we have this blank wall right here, and I wanted to put a mural on that wall. wanted to put a mural on that wall. I was really close to as well, but one of the jerks that live in the building thwarted me and stopped me, called the landlord, freaked him out about lawsuits and whatever. So that didn't happen, but thankfully I was able to hang that mural somewhere else about a month ago. And that mural was gonna look like this on this wall, but it now looks like this on this wall. And that's in Roxbury. Yeah, so my battery ran out, so I had to switch batteries. So yeah, this wall was gonna be a spot for my mural, but it didn't end up that way. And this building used to only be one story, and I proposed a mural above that building many years ago. I'll show you what that would have looked like. Yeah, something like that. I always like Tuscan scenes, like the Tuscan vineyards. And then there's all sorts of blank walls in the North End. The North End has the largest concentration of blank walls of any neighborhood in Boston. There's one right behind me. And there's one on that wall too. One on this wall too. Anyway, I'll show you a few more cool things. Let's go. I painted this utility box to look like a miniature version of this building. This has been here for about 8 years. It's been stuck with lots of stickers and tagged. It looked like this when it was new. Good, good. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these miniature building utility boxes in the future. I also painted this sushi sign about 8 years ago. I got into doing signage, got asked to do signage, but I don't like doing signage, so I stopped doing it. But this sign's lasted a while. Let's keep going. I had a bunch of my paintings, oil paintings, hanging in this laundromat, the New Spin, for about 7 years. And then I sold it all in 2017. And all of them went to Happy Homes. I don't really do much oil painting or any oil painting anymore. I just do murals and outdoor work. Let me show you more. This view's changed since those buildings went up. And I'll show you what it used to look like about 5 years ago. Check this out. Yeah. It's a lot different. Let's keep going. This building was built within the last 5 years. It used to be a parking lot. I'll show you pictures of what that used to look like. And there used to be a blank wall right there. But now it's a building. Residential. Let's keep going. Someone wants to park here. Okay, we're back at my first mural project. Now I'm not standing next to a police officer and some rando guy. So yeah, this was a really great project to work on. I love the fact that it's still here. This building right here is getting torn down soon. They're gonna build a new building there. A little fun fact about the North End is the reason it looks the way it does is because it has a 55-foot height limit on all new construction since the 60s. I think since sometime in the 60s. So developers haven't been able to build any towers in the North End, and it's been able to keep its old world character. If it wasn't for that 55-foot height limit, there'd be high rises all scattered throughout the North End. It's funny how one little rule can make such a big difference. I'm going to end the tour here, and we'll pick up the tour here in the North End next week and continue with tour number 6 next week. Until then, have a great week. See you then. Bye.